Hi guys, Paul,
And Mike.
Maniacs Meat Podcast, Fresh Meat, episode 2 on this one. The second Fresh Meat, we have a
Little known?
lesser known film of Joe Spinell's from Maniac, of course. Maniac and Star Crash, which is, I love Star Crash. I don't know if you've watched it yet. It's an Italian ripoff of Star Wars, and I
haven't seen
I hate Star Wars, but I love Star Crash. But this is, here it is, The Undertaker. Come on, bitch. There you go. This is his last role, his last full-length role before his death in 1990 or 89. 89. So I just got this in this week. This is first time on home video. This was never released in theaters or on video. The only copy was in Joe Spinell's collection. It got circulated after his death on bootleg. Later in 2010, this is the Code Red edition. They released it padded with public domain films and weirdly edited. And then in 2016, I think, or something like that, Vinegar Syndrome released a different version with the gore scenes added, I guess, but without the public domain. So those are the two versions on DVD that you can get right now. This is a DVD. The other one is a DVD Blu-ray combo. So I might be getting that too. I'm not sure. But right now, we're going to talk just about our first takes on this piece of fresh meat.
Yeah. It was, well, I enjoyed the feel.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the really, what I thought was poorly done editing.
Yeah.
I did like the pace of the movie. It was kind of funny because I know when we were watching it, we were discussing it as we were kind of going, and I liked the very beginning of it. It reminded me so much of the Toxic Avenger
When they were in there.
Yeah, like there's an aerobic scene and stuff, and I was like, this feels like the gym at the beginning of Toxic Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
The public domain stuff I thought was kind of cool, cutting that in, and I know you were pointing out, you're like, oh, that's that movie. I thought that was kind of cool.
I like the public domain because if you watch the film, it kind of adds to the premise of the film.
It does. It absolutely does.
More so than taking away. The aerobic scenes take more away from the film than add to it as filler.
Yeah.
I would like to say right now, right on the top of here, it says the Maniac, quotations, who terrorized New York City is back. This time he is a mortician who needs to beef up business in a small New Jersey town, which is the premise of what he's doing. But he's using The Corpse Vanishes, the Bela Lugosi film. It's like a kind of a semi impromptu
modus operandi.
Yeah, modus operandi to do everything. I would like to say the tit factor in this film is well worth it.
Yeah, if you want to see a lot of topless ladies.
And almost every woman in the film gets naked at some point in time, which is definitely well worth it. So for
on point for a slasher film.
On point for a slasher film.
This version, the gore was not on point. For a slasher film.
Apparently, the Code Red, there was more gore scenes to it, but they were cut out because you do see some stuff. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of it is just cut and dry, cut, quick cuts here, quick cuts there. It'll have a kill, and it'll cut to two people making love in a bed, and then cut back to a weird face, and then cut back to them in the bed, and then cut back to, and I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of.
Yeah, I would be really interested in seeing the straight version.
Yeah, I would say like the actual slasher part of the film is the editing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
They slashed and hacked on this one, but it overall has an enjoyable feel to it.
Yeah, that's really what did it for me. The overall like the feeling that you get, like it just had a good solid, like I'm watching like a, I don't know. It felt nice. It felt nice watching.
No, it reminded me of like Killer Workout, Death Spa.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Majorettes. It reminded me of even a section of it reminded me of like Haddonfield Halloween while he's driving around the cars. Yeah. It reminded me of the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
You know, it even reminded me of Maniac a little bit with Joe Spinell. Yeah. You know,
it did have a very Majorettes kind of.
Yes, it had a very Majorettes film. It had a Russo film, which is funny because I think Majorettes came out the year prior, the '87 for this. You know, but Even the one porch reminded me of the same porch in Dark Crate.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and I was like, is that the same porch from Dark Crate? Like, what the fuck? But this is most of this was shot in New York City. It's supposed to be in New Jersey. Why wouldn't you just shoot in New Jersey? I don't know. But
it did seem to me that I don't know if they used like a high quality camera and a really low quality camera or what, but because you're watching some of those scenes, and I know we were talking about it, like no grain. It seems pretty clear. It looks like it almost looked like, I was like, this looks like it could have been done in like the early 90s.
Yeah,
even, like,
it had a very nice, crisp, clean tonality to some of the scenes. None of the scenes with Joe Spinell had the same crispness.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of odd.
They had grain.
Yeah,
then it was a lower film quality. The grain was there. In some of the he was pointing out too, in some of the scenes you had this weird green tinge to the bottom of the thing. So there was no cohesive feel to any of the filming.
Yeah, I don't know what caused that.
Yeah, well, we were thinking maybe like they filmed all the Joe stuff because Joe was a train wreck. Let's just be honest. Then with the alcoholism, he was nearing his death because of drinking, mourning the loss of his mother. He wasn't in good shape. He probably used this film to buy, hopefully to buy a couple more things of alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those. It's a sad but true story. But we always loved, everyone loved Joe Spinell. He was very nice. He was very this, it was just a sad thing to happen to a nice guy. Yeah. It almost seems like they shot what they could with Joe when they could, and then realized, okay, he can't be, depended on. So we're going to shoot the rest of the film just using someone else's hands or someone else's
there was definitely some stuff that someone like that.
Yeah.
Like
and that film had good quality. That film quality was good. And then they mixed it in with this and this and this and this. This had some continuity issues as well. And again, we always know that this is a bootleg, and they chopped it up and made it into a film and then added this and added that. There was some narrative continuity issues about I called the cops, or maybe should I call the cops? I thought you said you did call the cops.
Because you're talking about how she called the cops, and then 2 scenes later they call the cops.
His nephew is named Nick, and we just have a very comical thing that everyone he talked to in the first 5 minutes of the film just wanted to have sex with him.
Wanted to bang Nick for some reason.
Yeah, they were talking about necrophilia in the classroom. He went up to his teacher and he said, "Look, I got something to show you." She goes, "Oh, I know, that's very sweet of you, wanting to have sex with me, basically." Yeah. He's like, "No, it's not that. I have something to show you at my uncle's funeral home." She goes, "Well, I've been at worse places," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, and then she just literally next the teacher talks to another lady. She goes, "Oh, he has a nice butt." Like, what is with Nick's?
Why is everybody liking Nick so much?
Everyone wants Nick's dick, The one comical part is the detective.
Yeah, sweaty detective.
There is a sweaty detective that literally is. He looks like he is literally standing in a shower.
It's awful.
And
except for that one scene where he's outside.
Yeah, the one
totally
scene
fine.
is perfectly fine. And then the next time you see him, he's back to literally dripping water off of himself. And it's
Richard Nixon.
It's something that you'd see in Airplane.
Yeah, it was.
It's very comical.
He was so I don't think it was intended. It couldn't have been
No,
intentional.
it wasn't intended. It wasn't intentional. But no one else in the room is sweating, and he's literally pouring it.
Yeah, it was rough.
His hair is disheveled to the extent of just sweat.
Even beyond the haggard detective look.
No. He wasn't going Columbo. Yeah. He was literally. Yeah. I just got out of the shower.
We're talking like Night of the Creeps. Like he was out drinking too much.
It was basically Alligator when they got out of the sewer. Yeah, he's that bad. Yeah. He was rough shape, and I just don't understand it. The ending had a lot to be desired. We were going for he's gonna set his nephew up as the killer, and that's how he's gonna get away with it. No. And we're gonna. I mean, spoiler alert. Yeah. I think that's
spoilers. Spoilers, fine. Yeah.
The ending was very chopped up, incohesive. They took out the gore scenes.
It really didn't make much sense.
No,
it made no sense.
Nick's girlfriend gets down to the basement where he has all the bodies hung up, which he was only hanging up apparently the male bodies, because all the women bodies he was trying to do the whole corpse vanishes thing.
I think so. Yeah,
and they were having funerals.
Yeah.
And here's the cohesion part. She goes into the parlor, the downstairs thing, sees him. Obviously, the corpses are hung in there.
Yeah.
She runs upstairs, which she didn't just come downstairs to get there. She went through like an alleyway and through here and
Yeah,
here.
she went to the downstairs, to the garden.
Automatically went upstairs. Joe Spinell then apparently corners her with the bodies, which they weren't up there.
Yeah.
And then Nick's body comes to life and strangles him from behind.
And freeze frames
on it.
There was no. That's what really threw me off, because this movie, it was a slasher flick.
Yeah.
It was like regular guy killing people.
Regular
kind of
thing.
There was no hint of supernatural
stuff
in it.
That's
really.
what in Maniac.
Yeah.
They all came alive.
Yeah.
And they did the Maniac thing. I get it.
Yeah.
The pieces, Maniac kind of deal. But my problem was, you weren't in the same fucking room.
Yeah. And just it was just so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
With Nick coming back to life and strangling him from behind. If
they would have cut her running up the stairs and shown him with the bodies behind, before that happened, it would have been more cohesive.
Maybe, and it goes. There's a lot of stuff that I think like goes to editing. Like when he kills the security guard in the car, and like
he's laughing,
the body like slumps down, he's laughing, and then it's a split, like it's like a 1 second of the teacher and her new boyfriend in bed, and then it immediately cuts back to him laughing.
Yeah.
And it looked like it cuts to them in bed and they're talking, but you can't hear anything. Cuts back to him laughing for another 5 seconds, and then cuts back to them in bed, and then the scene picks up, and I was just like, what the
fuck was that? Yeah. And even when Joe Spinell kills the one cop and puts him downstairs, you can see he's talking.
Yeah.
Saying something, but all it is laughter.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make
there
is a lot of that.
The editing was really, at least in this version of it, the editing.
Yeah, the editing is this. I'm a glutton for punishment, and I don't know how to buy any, save money or anything like that. So part of me wants to get the Vinegar Drone DVD Blu-ray combo and watch that next to this and see the differences.
Yeah. I would be interested in seeing. I would also be interested in seeing it just for the death scene.
Yeah, apparently there's some.
Like,
apparently I don't know why Code Red would ever do this, but it said on the internets after we got done watching this, we checked it out, that there was a slight cut of the gore in this one, and apparently
I would say more than slight, because there was not much gore in this.
So there's
if you're looking for
Code Red cut the gore, and then apparently Vinegar Drone put it back in. I guess
that was my take.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, you have Joe Spinell, who of course was in, and they don't even put Maniac on here, which is they put it right here, but they don't put it back here. The Godfather, Rocky, Nighthawks. What the fuck's Nighthawks? And
you know the Nighthawks?
No, I don't know Nighthawks. And One Man Jury. See, I mean, but they're accredited films. You know what I mean? Like, he's been in a lot of good things. I like Star Crash and Maniac.
Yeah.
But
Nighthawks is I think it's a Rutger Hauer film and Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, okay. Now the director of the photographer was he was in something, whatever, fuck it. But the special effects guy, Arnold Guglielmo III, I can't say that name. It's Italian. Was Rock and Roll Nightmare, Spookies, Frankenhooker, Devil and Miss Jones 2. I mean, so I mean, those are really fun films.
Oh, I would actually, with this version of the movie, I would actually be kind of annoyed if I was him, because I feel like a lot of your work.
No, I was just about to say. Well, they fucked him on this one because they cut out almost everything that was. There was this one scene where he stabbed this girl in the gut, and everything's in slow mo. But I'm not saying slow mo. I'm just saying it's like I'm gonna stab you now.
Yeah.
Not in slow mo. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and as soon as the knife starts to go in, it just cuts.
It just cuts.
And it's the next scene, and you're like,
well, here's the thing. He puts her face on the oven and burns half her face, but you only get a cut scene of her going with her face half burned.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even see
it. You don't.
But you see that little bit of makeup, and you're like, why is that happening? Like, you don't pay attention where they are in the room, like being a surrounding. Yeah. You don't even know what happened.
No, you don't.
So the cutting, the hacker slasher cutting to this film, the continuity problems in the cutting is, I think, the worst part of the film. but other than that, it was still enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, that was the weird thing about, like, I can actually, like, really bitch about this movie quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time watching it, even though I was like, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
the editing's bad. There's, like, green lines and stuff, and there's, like, just picture quality issues and continuity errors and all kinds of garbage, but I still liked it. I'm still glad I watched it.
I would say it drug out a little bit.
It did drag out a little bit.
Like, for instance, Nick's girlfriend walked through the funeral home down there, and it felt like it took 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So stuff like that. Other than that, I mean, it's a slow-moving film, because some slashers we talked about.
Yeah, we're talking.
It's either a kill every 5 seconds, or it's a slow
builds and everything.
This is a slow one.
Yeah.
I do believe that they probably didn't have Spinell most of the time, and that's why they quick shot all the Spinell stuff, because they knew, okay, he's sober for right now. Let's get him shot.
You know what I mean? One of the things I thought was kind of odd about it was like, they show right at the beginning, and then during the aerobic scenes and stuff, when it's like doing the credits and everything. First off, the score is very odd.
The score is odd.
The score is odd. Like the score placement is odd.
Yes,
but it was like they were excited because they were getting into. Remember all in the early '90s, like the making stuff like kind of digital looking. Like some of the weird effects. Like those weird '90s effects that were starting to come out.
Diffuse.
Yeah, and it seemed like when they made this, they started getting access to that, and they were just excited to use it for no apparent reason.
Because it only happened in the beginning.
It happened to me, and then right at the end, it happens again. Like, when she was down there, and then like it does it, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Well, and then like it was the two at the very end. It's like two coffins with people in it, and they digitally impose their faces.
And I'm like,
and it's like, wow, look what you did, guys.
Yeah, they were just like happy that they could do it, so they're like, let's do this.
And it made the film, the end of the film, seem kind of hokey jokey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, so what's the point of this film? What actually happened here?
Yeah.
You know?
It was the ending was a lot to me.
And if you watch the last horror film, it has a very weird kind of feel to the ending as well. You know what I mean? Like it's got one of those weird things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that too. So overall, what would you say for this film? So I'll say, give you your horror movie guy and your non-horror movie guy ratings.
Horror movie guy,
you know, there's a lot of horror movie guys who've never even watched Maniac.
Yes, that's fair.
Which is pathetic, and you should.
But seven to eight, let's say 7.5.
Yeah.
Just because I think if you if you're a horror movie person, you're just going to enjoy the feel of the movie, even with its glaring flaws.
Yeah. I just think it's like, oh, it's Joe Spinell. I have to watch this.
Yeah, which is cool.
You know what I mean, like that kind of thing.
And he was great in it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed him. It might be because of his mental state and life issues, but like there were some scenes where I was like, it's very difficult to understand.
But, yeah, there was just mumbling.
But I'm a mumbler though too.
Yeah.
So
he just didn't complain. Some of it was a little bit mumbled. Some of it like it just like. Are you pretending not to be into it, or is that like or are you just not into it? And,
yeah.
You know, it's like like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So non-horror movie fan.
Non-horror movie fan.
It's pretty one. It's pretty gonna be.
I don't think I can't picture any person that doesn't appreciate horror films wanting to watch this movie or being willing to sit through this.
Yeah.
Like maybe
it's one of those ones where they would start it, but they sure fuck wouldn't finish.
Yeah, like they would start it off, and I think they'd be like, "All right, like this is interesting," and then they stick with it for a little while. But I think they would give up. Now maybe if it was 15 or 25 years ago, and it's like USA Up All Night or something, and
I've watched some real shit.
And it's like 2:00 in the morning, and they cut out the nudity. Like I can see me as like a young teenager and like everything being like, yeah, I'll watch this garbage horror film tonight. But
Rhonda Shear and I go way back.
Yeah.
Because we've watched some really shitty films together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Gilbert Gottfried's over there. And...
I'm the fifth Ramon. Yep. USA Up All Night. Absolutely. This could be on Thriller Video with Elvira.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. There you go. I would mirror what you said. I'm going to give it a 7.5, a standard 7.5 overall. For hardcore, we're talking about hardcore horror fans, 7.5.
Yeah, because you're gonna like the way it feels.
Your
You're
average
gonna like the way it
viewer,
feels.
I think we're gonna give it like I was gonna say maybe a 2.
Yeah,
Because of the tits.
that's true. Like if you're like a 15-year-old, 14-year-old,
I'm watching this
like,
because of the tits.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess so. With the age of internet, it's a little
Like for instance, too,
not as
like
exciting
Not
as
of
it
This
used to
Earth
be, but
is not good.
yeah,
But it's got Tracy Lords Newton in it a lot,
Yeah.
so I'm watching it. You know what I mean? That kind
Like-
of thing. So I'm gonna give that. So we're gonna go with your score and my score. 7.5 is an overall,
Yeah.
and then for the low side, it's gonna be a 1.5.
yeah. Because like, I mean, I know if I would have been like a 13-year-old and I would have got my hands on this, I'd have been like, "This is awesome!" Like, look at all these boobs and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. But like now with the
But
age of
as
internet
you
and
grow-
stuff, yeah, like and like I can't imagine like a 13-year-old now getting excited. He's like, why? I can just go on,
Yeah.
Pornhub or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, there's X videos, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Get it, no
I
problem.
was saying, I'll watch this on YouTube.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, no, I got you.
Probably not even flagged on YouTube.
No, it's not even flagged.
I watched the whole thing.
Oh
Probably.
yeah, I never checked to see if this was on YouTube. I just bought it.
I watched Night of the Comments on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
They had the whole Night of the Comments on there.
I
was
showed Liberty
yeah.
Night of the Comments on YouTube.
I was
when we were
like,
there.
I can't believe we flagged it.
Yeah, we watched Night of the Comments together. We watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We watched,
Yeah.
when I was up in Washington with Liberty, we watched a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
when I was on YouTube. And it's like, I love the fact that it's on there.
Yeah, sure.
But I want people to buy it too.
Yeah,
That's where we have the problem.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
I buy everything I like.
yeah. Most
That's the thing. You have a very big collection as well.
Yeah.
As you know, there's so many people who literally only download everything or stream everything.
I like hard copies.
I gotta have hard copy. I gotta hold it in my hand. That's the way.
Well, yeah, and I love the fact that I'm like, whenever I want to watch whatever, I can just pull it off my shelf. And
Yeah,
load it.
you don't have to go. Oh, they took it offline.
Yeah, they took it off.
No, I have it right here.
Or like I can't get access. Like I don't have internet access for some reason.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
this or that. I'm like, no. As long as I have power, I can watch the movie.
Exactly. That's how I like it too. So first time. This was a 2010 release. First time on DVD. So there it is. That's our take, fresh meat on The Undertaker with Joe Spinell from 1989. This has been Paul
And Mike,
Maniacs Meat Podcast. Bye bye.
take it easy.
We'll be closing out the 80s here soon. Cheers.
Cheers.